And hello, movie lovers, and welcome to the show. I have Charlie here. He hasn't seen, well, he didn't see Doctor Strange at the time that we got to see Doctor Strange, but he was also not here for our Doctor Strange review. So I figured going ahead, open the floor up, let him have his review. And also, too, we have some movie news that we're going to dive into first. Then, after the movie news segment, which is only two new movie news reports, and then we're going to go straight into Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. So, that being said, let's go ahead and dive into a bit of movie news.
Okay, so the first set, I mean, with John, like we talked about this, I believe on April 1st, might have been around that time about The Crow actually moving forward. I thought it was a joke. I literally thought, I was like, there's no way they're moving forward with this. What do you know? They are. Yeah, so they set a production start date. So according to Deadline, production on the upcoming modern reboot of The Crow is scheduled to begin this summer in the Czech Republic in Germany. Before filming starts, the Bill Skarsgård and FKA Twigs led Revenge Flow will first head to the Cannes market with Film Nation Entertainment. This movie's again based on the revenge film based on James O'Barr's 1989 dark fantasy comic book series of the same name. The remake will be in development. Remake will be directed by Rupert Sanders from a screenplay written by Oscar nominee Zach Braylon from King Richard. Skarsgård will be playing Eric Draven, while Twigs will be the character's love interest, who is now expected to have a bigger role in the new adaptation. It tells the story of a man who's brought back to life by crows to avenge his murder and death of his fiancée. And this movie was famously adapted by the late Brandon Lee. R.I.P. Brandon.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so let me give you my initial thoughts on this because, at first I wasn't sure if they were going to go back to Detroit and go ahead and film over there. Because to know that it's going to be filmed overseas, that's definitely an interesting take. Because I thought they would actually go back to Detroit and everything and film this. But although in the graphic novel and stuff like that too, it's very different the way it's actually laid out. There's a lot more to it than what we got. They skipped a lot into the beginning of The Crow. But I am definitely excited for this. And also, too, to know that you actually have an Academy Award nominee for the screenwriter for this that's attached to it shows me some promise into this film. Now, whether or not they actually break production during that time and they don't go through any other production hell that they've been going through with it, that's debatable. But does it make me excited? Does it make me less nervous? A little bit, because of the fact I'm actually a little bit more hopeful because of the fact that they have someone that's actually a talented screenwriter on board for this film. And so it gives me some hope.
They need to just leave this movie alone. I'm not, like, again, I'm not sold on this. I'm not sold on the director. I don't think he's, like, I don't know. We'll see. This is like the 20th. I don't know. I'm exaggerating. Like, it feels like it's been 20 different directors and 20 different actors that have been attached to play Eric Draven. This movie is just leave it alone. Let Brandon Lee rest in peace. Because that movie's just so good. And I mean, if they make it modern, they're gonna make the soundtrack modern. And I'm like, no.
Well, that's when we do our old playlist for a reboot of what we think that it's going to sound like. So that's going to be something that we're going to try and do. But yeah, I think that would be fun.
You can't beat the original, to be honest. Again, I don't know. I mean, I'm not sold on this. Maybe Bill Skarsgård will play a good Eric Draven. I don't know. Maybe. You got to have a lot of good action sequences in it. I mean, that's what really is The Crow was. There was a lot of good set action pieces. I don't know. Maybe the director would do it as long as he doesn't have an on-set issue and like he did on the set of Snow and Huntsman, which we've already talked about. But still, again, I don't know. Like, I'm not sold on this, to be honest. Like, again, I think they just need to let there's some original movies that you just need to let go. Like, don't stop trying to make it modern. It's not going to work. This is one of them, The Crow. I got The Matrix. Like, leave that. Don't touch that movie. Like, just don't. And I mean, there might be others I can't think of, but those are the two at the top of my head. Don't touch The Matrix, and The Crow. So we'll see. I mean, they already tried to screw up The Matrix for me with LeBron James as the Neo outfit and the Space Jam 2 sequel. If you're wondering what that is, just don't. Just Just get something to like. You need that Men in Black thing just to erase your memory of it. That's what the whole world needs, to erase the memory of Space Jam 2. But yeah.
But anyways, at first I felt like the same way you did. I felt like, we don't need another Crow reboot or anything like that. But to be honest with you, it piques my interest a little bit because of Bill Skarsgård being attached to it, and because of the level of actor that he actually is, and he's able to do things, is what makes me very interested in it. So that's for me though. So I know that we have the Loki news, and then after that, we're breaking into the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness review from you.
Yes. So again, they said production start date. The article didn't mention a production start date for The Crow. So again, I don't really know fully when that's supposed to start. But then another one is Loki season 2 set date. Let me see here. Loki season 2 production has official start date as Disney's future MCU universe plans to continue coming to view June 6th in London for Loki season 2. And it's series suspected to be directed by Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead, who recently helmed the Moon Knight series. Duo will be replacing Kate Herron, who, according to said listing, will still remain on the project as a producer. And that's really about it.
Okay. So I'm excited about the fact that they're going to start production on Loki season 2. And also, 2, I'm thinking that this is actually going to be after the effects of Doctor Strange and Clea cleaning up their mess, cleaning up Loki's mess, making the universes merge. But we'll get into a little bit of that on the Multiverse of Madness review. But, I'm excited. I really enjoyed Loki and everything. We had one bad episode out of the whole entire series, in my opinion. I wound up liking it for what it is. But I'm excited to know that they're actually starting production, and also too, I'm glad that they got everybody still together.
I mean, I like the first 2. Again, those first 2 episodes. Again, I didn't know what to expect from the Loki series. Like first 2, like knocked them out apart. I'm like, wow, like I was blown away. It was actually really entertaining. And then Barney taking a piss on the screen of the third episode, kind of like, and it was like this hard to see. That one, it was like a sour note, and then they try. I don't know. I think it started out good, and then it is not that. I mean, the hard thing for me of these like Marvel shows, that nothing's been for me personally consistent. I think the one that my favorite show, just coming to think of it, was WandaVision. My favorite show because it started out quirky, but I knew that going in. But once the story progressed, it actually got better. And then I actually enjoyed it. Winter Soldier started out great, and then the ending was kind of disappointing, but it was still a decent show. And then I liked aspects of Hawkeye. I liked aspects. I think so far there hasn't been one a consistently good show. Maybe Mrs. Marvel, when it comes out in June, like maybe that will do it. Again, I know that looks like it's a lot of that stuff. So a lot of like colorful kind of stuff. So there might be other cool stuff from it. Might be leading into Thor: Love and Thunder. We'll see. I don't know. I mean, it depends or whatever. Just from the color designs, the aspects, of just the vibe of it seems more of a Thor kind of a vibe. And so we'll see. Again, I don't know. I think for me, the Marvel shows just haven't been consistent, and that's the problem.
I gotcha.
Yeah, I think there hasn't been one consistent show. Maybe when we get closer, the others I think the big one I'm looking for is Secret Invasion, because that's what the Skrulls. That's what that's my big thing for the current phase we're in. What is the theme? Like you're giving me substance. What's the theme? You're not answering the question. What is the theme of the whole phase 4? Is it finding yourself? Then yeah, sure, maybe. But I think it's the Skrulls, because I think we're going to get, because it's going to lead into Deadpool 3, and we might be getting the invasion of the Skrulls, which is in a comic where just Deadpool just kills all the Skrulls. But so I don't know. I just want to know. I just want, what is the theme, so that I can put the puzzle pieces together like Charlie Day on the conspiracy theory board.
Well, let's see. For me, you know me, I love Moon Knight. I'm gonna do a special episode just ranking the episodes individually. But as for me, I love Moon Knight. and everything, and also too we're having the same creators from Moon Knight move over to Loki and do a mythology piece off of that. I'm excited for that. So with that being said, let's go on ahead. Let's dive into some multiverse of madness. So what was so
No,
my
go ahead,
question is
John.
this, man. What was your first initial thoughts when you saw this movie? Because I know that you didn't know what to exactly to expect when you were going into seeing this movie or anything like that either.
Yeah.
And you know me, I had my theories and stuff like that. But I want to know what your thoughts were.
I had no thoughts going into this one. Like going into it, I was like, "Oh, cool, Doctor Strange." Yeah, I again, this was my favorite. Like the trailer for this movie was my favorite part of No Way Home. The very end, the post-credit sequence when my brother told me it's a trailer. I'm like, "No way!" It was a full-on 2.5, 2 minute and 30-second trailer. I was like, "Wow, they haven't done this since the Avengers." So I was like, I was excited for this one. This like all the people that are going to be in it and stuff like that. But honestly, I hadn't I saw some stuff like trailers here and there, and I was like, yeah, I want to get tickets. So I got IMAX tickets. Maybe I was thinking because our IMAX theater in Maryland is like the one that closest to me, huge. Like I think row N or whatever, and I got it because I knew not many people would be buying those tickets for IMAX, so it was busy. But then again, it wasn't, and because I knew I'd be getting tickets easier for this, and so I did. IMAX. I mean, I loved it. I had a great time coming out of this. Like, the other big the thing that kind of helped like fuel like my excitement to see this movie. Again, everybody knows I'm a huge I'm looking for Avatar 2, but being able to see the first trailer for Avatar 2 before it released online, and it was the very final trailer. They made it all in the IMAX screen, and also we got a brief 12-minute clip from Top Gun. So that was one of our trailers, the IMAX exclusive, seeing the first couple like a big sequence from Top Gun. I was like, so again, but seeing the Avatar 2 trailer, that was like really like I'm like, yeah, I made the right decision. And seeing that on the big screen, I'm like, anyway, back on the Doctor Strange. Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was great. And then when hearing the thoughts that this was a horror movie, I don't do horror movies. I don't like them. They're just not me. I can occasionally watch a few of them, like Freaky. That wasn't a horror. That was kind of a slasher, but that one was kind of like it depends on what the movie was. Once I heard it was Sam Raimi's in this, I'm like, all right, good. He directed a couple of my favorite Spider-Man movies, and one of my all-time favorite Spider-Man movies, Spider-Man 2. He did that. Didn't care for Evil Dead, the very first one. Evil Dead 2 was pretty good. I like that one because I can't do the straight-up horror stuff, and that was just gross for the sake of being gross, but that's me personally. Army of the Dead, love that one. So I'm very familiar with Sam Raimi, but him first horror movie, I was like, yeah, I'm not so sure on this one. But yeah, there was moments in this movie where I'm like, nope, I don't do jump scares. Like I don't do jump scares. And there was a couple moments that I was like, I had my eyes covered. I'm like, nope. But I think the favorite brutal kill for me, again, I personally think this is the most brutal MCU movie I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. Well, you and I were both talking about that.
Yeah.
Even Alex and I were talking about that last night, because of the fact that when you see the sorcerers trying to protect America, you wind up seeing how grotesque and how brutal Wanda is. In her mind, she thinks that she's doing something right, which makes her the most dangerous villain. Because when someone's thinking that they have their best intentions, that's when they realize, of course, that's one thing about a villain, is the motivations. And her motivations were very clear with that.
Yeah. And also too, I thought like the whole little the from the trailers, you see it's all white and happy, and then you just see it's a giant ruse. I'm like, damn! Like there's a lot of moments like, and then a lot of times Wanda was just awesome in this movie. Like she was like a villain, but it didn't feel like she was a villain. She felt just in her cause. But there's a lot of moments where she's just burning people, not physically, but mentally with these like slick, sick, sadistic burns. Like you changed each, like you affected the multiverse, or you did something, and everybody called you a hero, and I did it. They call me a villain. I don't really see that's really fair. And the way she's just name dropping people. Hey, how's that working out for Christine? Or just that was just like, and I guess kept thinking, I'm like, damn, she's burning him. Like she's spitting hot fire. And for any Chappelle shows fans out there, her nickname should be Dylan because she spits hot fire. But just those burns and this how the illusion is like, is this like, it was very like really cool to see that. Dang, she was vicious in this movie. Like she was like
I have to go on what Brad said on Scene Invaders podcast, where I have to give the Marvel credit for giving a woman that being a total badass villain and the balls to do it, and knowing the layers of her character and the threat of her character, because of the fact that it's been a while since we actually had some sense of danger with these characters. I was very fearful for Doctor Strange, and I'm happy that they did this in that kind of way.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, and if anybody's wondering, yeah, that's the actual theatrical poster from this movie. So, so yeah. So if anybody's wondering, what is that in the background? Yeah, that's that. But anyway, yeah, Wanda was great in this. Like, she was vindictive. She was brutal. I think there was a lot of scenes that they didn't show of her doing more damage to that town where they're at, where the defending. I think there was scenes, or I think they really wanted to have her do hand-to-hand combat with some of them, but I think they kind of didn't. And that's fine. I mean, you did what you need. You proved the point. Like you did what you need to.
Mm-hmm. And you see, for me, Wanda does not need hand-to-hand combat when you have magic spells flying at you and having that dark spell book. You do not need that. Yeah. Just her level of doing the spells is scary enough, and her coming at you full force and using the reflections from under the water to get to America, that was really scary.
Yeah, that was like the very Evil Dead reference, like cover up the water, and the way she's coming out is like she's like the T1. She was like the T2000 from Terminator 2. Like she's like the like
the T1000.
The Robert Patrick character. But yeah, she was very like that. Like and the contortion she did. Like there's a lot of creepy stuff in this, but some of the kills she did, oh my god! Like she like, again. I think this is. I know Tanika brought this up yesterday about the announcement of the Illuminati. The Illuminati fight should have been longer. No, it was just fine. You need to do it. You need to just end it fast because that's how brutal Wanda is. Like how and that's not even technically wasn't really Wanda. It was like a demon controlled Wanda, but just the burns on like that, like how she took care of every single one of them, just like that. And then the burn she did on Mr. Fantastic, but I'll admit that cameo, I did not see that one coming. That was awesome.
And you know what? I have to admit to Alex and everything about be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it, but you don't know in the kind of aspect that you might actually get a certain character. And in this one, everyone's like, oh, good. We're finally going to get the director from, The Quiet Place. And then all of a sudden you get him, and then he's gone. So
Jim Helper, and the burn she wanted to deliver to him. Does your kids have a mother? Yes. Then that's okay. They always still have somebody to take care of when I take care of you. I was like, damn, like that line she just delivered to Jim Helper. But yeah, that was
very salty.
Very salty. Like, I mean, it's like, and then again, I think the kind of reference that they again, Mr. Fantastic, and I didn't see that one coming. That was really cool. Does that mean he's going to be Mr. Fantastic? No, I don't think so. I think they're going to be. I think that's what everybody's expecting. I personally don't think. Would I like that happen? Sure. I don't see how they can do it now. But
well, considering the fact that Earth is a different Earth, and Doctor Strange comes from the 616 area code, which to me should be just a rap song about Doctor Strange rapping. But anyways, considering the fact that that universe is a different universe, I think that he could actually still be part of this. Also, too, you have Patrick Stewart, who signed on to be Professor Xavier again. You don't just sign him on for a one cameo deal just to kill him off. You want to have him back again. If Sir Patrick Stewart wants to come back, that is. But you want to have these actors to come back again to reprise those roles. Now, as far as Rambo goes, being Captain Marvel, she might wind up happening later on. But as far as the other two cameos happening and stuff like that, I could see that happening as a permanent base for them.
Yeah. For like again, like and then Captain Carter, I thought that was kind of cool to see that. And then you see the best friend being Captain Marvel in this one. Yeah, this worked in this universe, but it won't be able to work in the current one because she's no longer that. That's why the daughter's taken over. So that's gonna happen later on. But yeah, seeing like that, and then seeing how quickly they got killed by Wanda, like that was that. I think the Thunderbolt one was like the brutal one. How can you do something when you don't have a mouth? And I was like, damn, is this Matrix style right here? And then
even the music.
Like, and then he just blows up. And I was like, wow. And then she took care of Ultrons. Like the Ultrons is in this universe or whatever. Like how she just took them out like boom, 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 boom. I'm like, perfect. Like I think that it didn't need to be any longer than that because you need to prove a point. But seeing Mr. Fantastic get turned into Silly String, I thought that was during a brutal moment. It was kind of funny. So I kind of liked the idea, like just I kind of like what Sam Raimi did with that. It is a brutal moment, like there's no denying that, but it kind of made it kind of funny. I appreciate that, but and then seeing Captain Carter get penetrated by her own shield, I was like, man, I thought I've seen that shield go for like penetrate like the decapitated guy's head, and it went right through somebody. Wow, they're really up in their game here in the violence, and then.
Well, yeah, I want to go back for a minute though too. The guy who winds up, he can say something in a whisper and he can kill you. My friend Jason and I were sitting there, right, and then all of a sudden he dies, and him and I are both busting out laughing. I was like, "Well, so much for that."
Well,
but
he went by faster than the Inhumans TV show because he's an Inhuman. If anybody didn't know that. Right. Yeah,
true. But anyways, going ahead. I'll let you.
Yeah, I mean, again, I loved it. I bought the pacing. I thought it was a good pacing. I didn't feel bored during this. I felt it was that like something like there. And surprisingly, there's a lot of kids that went to this, and it's a Marvel movie that I don't recommend this one for kids. Honestly, I just don't because there's a lot of scary elements in this, and I think like again, I it's not as scary as The Dark Knight. Like it's not, don't get me wrong, it's not as dark as that. But there's a lot of stuff in this one that's really dark. The imagery's dark. Like there's a lot of dark stuff that could scare kids easily. So if you don't, I mean, if the kids want to see it, that's fine. But it's up to you. But this is a really scary movie. There's a lot of scary elements. There could be a lot of there could be a lot of scenes that might scare and give kids nightmares. I'll just say that. But again, the pacing, I thought it was a really good pacing. Like you didn't feel tired or bored at all. Personally, I didn't. I liked the kind of like, I thought it was a really good balance between comedic moments and then dark moments. I thought that was a really good pacing with that. I mean, I liked Bruce Campbell showing up and then and then he's like, oh yeah, that thing wears off in 3 weeks, and then punching himself in the face. It was like, it reminded me of the Evil Dead 2 movie where Bruce Campbell had to fight himself. Right. So he's getting punched in the face. I thought that was funny. I think for me, the kill of the movie, the most shocking one, the one that really like made everybody in the theater like, whoa, was the Professor Xavier kill.
Yeah, okay, I want to talk about that for a minute because I don't know if you watched the review from last night or anything like that.
I didn't fully have time to fully watch it. Okay.
But I'll tell you. Okay, so I'll tell you this. You know how this whole entire time I was talking about House of M, and basically Doctor Strange going into Wanda's mind. So as soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh my god, I was fanboying out of my seat. And Jason didn't know what was going on at all. I was like, they're doing House of M. House of what? I said, never mind. And so then I'm over there and watching it play out. I'm like, yes, they're finally doing it. And then all of a sudden he gets killed. I'm like, never mind.
Well, I know it's not on the comics, but I'm just playing on that. It technically was a House of M, but at the M stand for massacre. Because we did get a House of M. Like everybody got mad. But the moment that was like when you see when he's like trying to help Wanda, and then you see the red mist, and he's looking at, and then she pops up right behind him, boom, snaps neck. I was like, everybody's like, holy crap! Like everybody like jumped, like everybody was like, what? Like, that was like one of those moments everybody was like just lost their like crap. And I was like, I was freaking out. I was like, oh my God, did that really happen? That was like, that was the one takeaway from that movie. I'm like, that's the snap, like it's like it right, like it's not as Rambo like from Rambo 2 when he's like when he's grabbing the guy, looking, and then stabbing him, like looking both ways. No, Juan just nonchalant, like no emotion when she did it, and she was very vindictive on that movie, and I was like, oh my God, that was so brutal and cool at the same time.
To be honest with you, whenever you see Professor Xavier's face, I'm like, yeah, he's done. But I also was like, I even said this, what the F in the theater. I screamed that out loud in the theater because I was not expecting it.
Well, the turtleneck. I was not expecting him, the skinny turtleneck. He looked like a Sprocket from SNL, like Mike Myers and the Sprockets. It was like,
no, he looked like Martin Short from the Master of Disguise. Am I not turned up for the Turtle Club? But yeah.
No, yeah. I mean, it's just like, it's that was so like that. And then he thought, he's like, yep, I'm not, nope, sorry. So I mean, just the way what she did on that one, that was so brutal. But yeah, it was kind of like you couldn't look away. Like you came out thinking like, damn, that was a badass Wanda moment. I mean, she was very evil in this one, but that was a brutal moment. I mean, that was a brutal but yet great moment. But just the suddenness of it, like how like you didn't expect it. Like that's what, there's a lot of jump scares in this, and that was definitely one of them. Like you didn't see it coming. You see how she comes out of nowhere, like Pennywise. And I'm surprised she didn't just dip out. But yeah, that was the brutal kill in this whole movie for me personally.
I can see why, though. I mean, that was a very shocking and brutal moment. Then, of course, another thing that winds up happening is with the thing with America, where basically you have Wanda who's willing to kill a child just so she can be with her children.
Mm-hmm.
And I like how Strange calls her out on that and tries to bring her back to where she once was. Then, also, too, the demons coming out of the book was actually pretty cool on how they did that. And then the fight battle between Doctor Strange and Doctor Strange.
That was kind of cool. With the music elements, I thought that was a cool idea, a cool gimmick. I also want to say I really liked Rachel McAdams. Yes, Christine Palmer. I really liked. I liked her in the first Doctor Strange. And that movie, kind of like her role in that, kind of like, because at first I wasn't a huge fan of hers. She did some stuff. I wasn't really a huge fan, but seeing her in the in Doctor Strange, I kind of liked her. I like her now, but I thought they gave her a bigger role in this one, and I kind of liked that idea of it. I mean, I love the whole wedding sequence. It's like, and then how her husband, ironically, was My Name. Her husband's a huge Doctor Strange fan, and he's geeking out when he's fighting the giant octopus monster or whatever. But to go on your point about there's a lot of danger. I think my brother and I felt that for Juan. So many times Juan should have died. He should have died. Like when that scene when he hit it at the side of his neck on the stairs, I thought he was gone. I instantly thought, because that's usually
the cliff off the mountain. That what scared me. I'm like, did they just kill Wong?
Yeah.
And then you wind up seeing him. I'm like, okay, good. I'm okay. Yeah. I'm okay.
Yeah,
okay.
But no, I thought he was gone with the when he whipped his neck on the side of the stairs, like, because that's instant like death right there. Usually in most movies, that's that. But Juan, man, like I thought he died so many times, but he lived in this one, and I also like the America Chavez character. I liked her a lot, and in a sense, this is kind of like his Peter Parker, in a sense, kind of what Tony Stark was to Peter Parker. Doctor Strange is kind of having that sort of relationship with America Chavez, and I think that's kind of what I'm interested to see how this progresses between the two of them, because I think he was kind of warming up to her, kind of like what Tony Stark did to Peter Parker, kind of grooming, like kind of helping out as much as can, like in a mentor. So I thought that was kind of a cool little, like maybe like little tease for what further on. But again, that's what I picked up from it. And I think my brother did too, about, she's like a Peter Parker to him. Not really, but kind of in a sense.
I could see that though, being a mentor, trying to train her in the ways that he was once been trained under, because she was
Mhm.
even having the same problems that he had whenever he was first got in there. And then, of
Mhm.
course, now my question is this: did you know that Doctor Strange had a sister or not? Because I mentioned that when I did my Doctor Strange rewatch with Alex, but I knew that he had a sister.
No, I didn't know he even had a sister.
Yeah, I wish that they would actually put that into context in the first film, so that way you can actually get the caring aspect of Doctor
Mhm.
Strange for his sister
Mhm.
and everything, so that way he can have that guilt and shame to actually carry him through with the second film.
Mhm.
And I wish they would have actually done that, because like when we first don't get that in the first movie, I'm like, okay, maybe she does not exist into the MCU or
Mhm.
anything like that. So I'm like, okay, so I can go on disbelief that she doesn't exist. And then all of a sudden, Raimi pulls it in. I'm like, okay, so maybe Strange is trying not to think about his sister dying or anything.
I think the other
So,
thing too is with the different directors, different styles, stuff
mhm,
like that. Again, I think that could be into play too. But there was a definitely like I just saw a couple articles just recently on this. I didn't read it, but kind of like they teased that third eye of his. They kind of teased that in the first movie. A little bit. All the times that the Sorcerer Supreme kept top punching, touching in the top of his forehead. They kind of were teasing that a little bit about him getting the third eye. So I was like, huh, interesting. Yeah, I kind of I can see that now. Um, so yeah, I thought that was a nice. So there is at least some not mentions from the first movie into this one. So there is some continuity with it.
mhm.
But I think the like again the biggest geek out moment for me, not of the character because I had no idea who the character was the mid credit sequence. But it was like a essentially you hear a voice, and the voice like Stephen Strange, you screwed up the universe. Not I'm not saying it verbatim, whatever. We need to fix it. Are you scared? I'm not. I don't know who the character was, and my brother was reading it up. But the voice and the voice, I was like, no way. Did they seriously get this person to be in the MCU? And I've seen this person on Twitter, real cat's out of the bag. The MCU just got Charlize Theron to join the MCU. That is huge, and
And
just to
also,
get her,
mm,
yeah, it's awesome.
also too, going off the villain from the very first Doctor Strange movie, though, too, uh, basically Dormammu. I think that somehow or another that Clea is actually related to him as
She is.
well. I forgot the context with it. She's very underground, and you know me, I'm up on my
Mhm.
comic books and stuff
Mhm.
whenever it comes down to Doctor Strange. But she's very underground to the point where I didn't know anything about her, and
Mhm.
I love the fact that I don't know anything about a character, so that way I can go back
Yeah.
and research it. You know,
Yeah.
but another thing I want to do is I want to do like a little bit of a deep dive with the whole music fight thing.
Yeah.
To
Oh.
me, when the two of them are fighting and stuff like that, I think Words has a big strong point when
Mhm.
it comes down to music lyrics. Like it can be like used as a sharp edged sword if you
Mhm.
think about it with words. So whenever he uses that and everything, he's using that. Now I'm gonna reference Eminem because he has an album called "Music to Get Murdered By."
Mhm.
So basically, he got murdered by music. And even though the lyrics are not on the pages or anything like that, but instrumental music has a way of actually giving you the powerful edges that you would need to take someone down. But that's just
Mhm.
me
Yeah.
geeking out a little bit. But
Yeah.
anyways, going ahead. What else are some of your
But
other
yeah.
thoughts?
So back to the Charlize Theron cast, and again, I thought that was like again, I didn't care about the character. I was like, no way. That was like my eyes lit up when I heard her voice because she's a very But getting more her character, and I think she's gonna be a big part of the MCU going forward because her character Clea, she is I think a distant like she might be I believe she is related to Dormammu. She's the next Sorcerer Supreme,
And
and
that
she's gonna be the husband, like they're the wife of Doctor Strange. So that means like well, I think they're gonna go with that, and I think it was a nice to go back onto the introduction of Clea. I think it was a good moment because it kind of it closed the door on the Christine Palmer sitch, and I liked how they did that. They kind of closed that door like again they closed that door to open this one, and I think I thought it was a nice move to introduce the character right off the bat, and then they're jumping through the like they're gonna be jumping through the like the different like to find the insurgents or whatever Steven's saying screwed up. We need to fix it. So
come to find out, the insurgents was actually Loki.
Yeah,
the Lokis at that time. So there is some connectivity with the Loki TV series and connectivity with it. So at least we know that's something that happened within this world. So it's connect. So we have some cohesiveness with that.
Yes.
But as for her being the Sorcerer Supreme, she's the Sorcerer Supreme in that world. But underneath Wong in the 616 universe, he's still going to be the Sorcerer Supreme.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know much.
Because I'm just going based off of comic books,
and
comic book lore, and how that works. But basically, in that universe, she would actually be the Sorcerer Supreme in that universe, and then Wong would still be the Sorcerer Supreme in the 616 universe as well. So now, therefore, he has to bow to her, she has to bow to him. It shows respect among other Supremes. But yeah.
Whatever they do with that, I don't know. I'm just excited that they got Charlize Theron to join the MCU. Like, yeah, that was a huge get, and I was like, that's awesome. And the fact that she kept this secret for so long, like, I'm a huge fan of hers because she's done a lot of great action movies, and she just has that way. I mean, so like I just dislike her a lot. I mean, I think she plays really good villains, but the fact that she playing a superhero in a sense, I think that's pretty cool.
I think so too. And I was picking with my friend Jace because he actually fell asleep during Atomic Blonde. I said, "Oh, so it's a multiverse for you." Because guess what? You fell asleep during Atomic Blonde, and all of a sudden she shows up. He goes, "Shut up."
I mean, hey, I liked Atomic Blonde. I mean, like, again, that was a David Leitch movie, and I think it has probably the best action sequence, like at the one continuous take. Like, I mean, that movie, she was awesome in that movie, but again, and then I think that goes to my next point about the whole mid credits, because I mean, there's a conversation you guys were having a little bit about mid credits, and I think it varies. I think sometimes I kind of like the post credit sequence in this one. I thought it was kind of funny. It was kind of like a huge like callback to Ferris Bueller a little bit about like go home. I think it varies. I think some of the ones like sometimes mid credit sequences aren't good. I think I don't remember No Way Home's one. I just know that the post credit scene from No Way Home was this trailer for Doctor Strange. So I think it varies to what that. Sometimes both of them are really good. I think the mid credit sequence for Shang-Chi was a good one because it brought in Shang-Chi or Sean and Katie, and they brought him in to meet holograms of Captain Marvel and Mark Ruffalo's character, the Hulk, or Bruce Banner, and you see Wong, and then again, it went from good, from serious to then party time, which I think it was fitting for that movie. So it varies. Again, I didn't care at all for the Eternals ones. Like, okay, the movie's already 2 hours. Almost felt like 3 hours already. Let's wrap this up. I don't really care. Sure, it sets up stuff. Does that mean I'm gonna watch it? No. I think the very first Captain America one had the tie-in to the very first Avengers trailer, which is like at 2011, which is pretty cool. But I think it varies. Again, I'm enjoying them. I'm like, either way, I'm not like most people. I sit and watch post-credit sequences in the Marvel movies because they're actually going to mean something. They haven't really mean anything on TV shows yet because they like playing teases with us because they know what to expect. But I did like the mid-credit sequence for this one. So yeah, I mean, I think it varies. Like, I'm just excited to see where we're gonna go with this. And this movie is already it already reached $500 million internationally just yesterday, and it's got 2 more weekends of nothing. I could say it's definitely going to make it. Well, I think it's going to get at least to over 700 million international, like combined, internationally, because there's nothing coming out until Top Gun. And I saw the post, John, on that. I think Doctor Strange is going to hold off Top Gun. I think once people watch Top Gun, I don't know.
I'll tell you why I came up with that though.
Yeah,
it's because of the positive word of mouth that it's been getting. and also too is falling into the nostalgia factor with it too.
Yeah.
And also too, I actually know film critics that they went to 4 screenings of this movie because they loved it so much.
Yeah.
And so you have the rewatchability aspect to it if people do decide to go back and rewatch Top Gun again in the second Top Gun movie. So you have the rewatchability of revisiting the film over and over again. With Doctor Strange, and also too, I want to mention this real quick too before I get into this other point. But uh, but here's the thing: that's only for the summer blockbusters. That is going to hold that spot for Top Gun as number 1. Avatar is going to come over there and just wreck stuff. I'm just going to be honest. Everybody's underestimating it, and I'm not one of those people that's underestimating it. I'm just one of those people like, I'll go check it out and out of curiosity. And out of curiosity, and if word of mouth gets around that it's good, it's going to be another one of those things where we're going to see another climb of James Cameron to the point where nobody can touch it. Now,
yeah,
I said this in the review though for Doctor Strange as well. I said as far as the rewatchability for this film, I don't see Marvel fans going into this movie that much as they did with the very first one. I just don't. Although I am going into it again for the second time because my fiance wants to go and see it and everything, and I don't mind going to see a Marvel movie again. But normally, whenever I come out of a movie, usually I see people clamoring wanting to go back and see it and stuff like that. For me, I just don't think it has that rewatchability for another to go back and watch it again in the theaters. Now, that's debatable if they go on ahead and watch it on streaming services for Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think I could see what I go back watching this one again. Because again, when I watched Doctor Strange last week, the first one, I hadn't seen that movie since 2016 when I first came out in theaters. I didn't see it. I mean, again, I didn't own the movie until late because I didn't buy the Blu-ray right off the bat because I was waiting for the 4K, and I was like, oh, I don't own this. Like, I mean, it was entertaining. The first Doctor Strange was good. I mean, visually it was stunning. I didn't find a lot of rewatchability at the time to go back to the theater. This one I could see myself going back because I already seen the stuff, but I kind of want to see some of the aspects again. But again, I think it's gonna nice. I don't know. I think this movie's gonna have legs. Like I think because we got at least 2 more weeks, and it's doing like bonkers overseas. The thing with with Top Gun, I think it's going to do well, and I'm not saying it's not going to do well because the image I saw, the clips, I'm kind of intrigued in it. I just didn't. Yeah, I know elements of the movie. I guess they're in that, but I'm giving Tom Cruise credit for he's a heck of an actor that wants to make as realistic as possible. I think we have to do a show for our like for box office from this point on. Like to see, because I agree. I think a lot of people are underestimating Avatar 2, and I think James Cameron had a feeling about that, which is why on September 23rd he's bringing back the original Avatar in theaters with enhanced graphics, visuals, and more audio or whatever to fix it. I think Avatar 2 is gonna like. I'm not down in James Cameron. I'm a Cameron fan, and I know his track record with sequels. He makes bonkers with sequels. And I think a lot of people are like, oh, this is like, there's nothing to this movie. That's the whole, like, maybe you think that, but this, the first Avatar dealt with the skies, and that was visually breathtaking. The fact is, the reason James Cameron took so long for this new movie, he had to create a new technology to fully shoot underwater, which is where that's one of his big expertises, because he's actually been underwater before, like, again, like that. He's filmed on it, and then just from the trailer alone, how beautiful that water looks, and it makes me like I want to go see. Like that was my goal, to go see Avatar 2 was to be my first IMAX 3D movie. So Ready Player One in that, and that's fine. It was good at that, but my big one I've been waiting for 13 years is to see Avatar 2 in IMAX 3D, and that water looks awesome. Like the teaser has me sold. And I think it's okay. It's a teaser. I mean, I'll admit the first teaser for Avatar didn't have me sold. But it's the next trailer that has me sold like that. And it looks like there's going to be a lot of great action sequences in this because James Cameron he's going to do some action sequences. Mm-hmm. And this looks awesome, and I agree with you. I think Avatar 2 is gonna like blow things like out of the water. Like comes out Christmas time, perfect time. That was when 13 years ago. That's when the first Avatar came out, and that thing didn't start out like it didn't start out great. It's not about how you start; it's about how you finish. And Avatar 2 consecutive weekends of #1 in the box. That
means Avatar 1.
Yes, Avatar 1, yeah. Consecutive weekends. I mean, that's what I think Avatar 2 might, because I don't think, like, again, you got Shazam, that's okay. You got different audiences and like that. And then there's a reason Shazam like backed out of the first week, and I'm like, yeah, we're back out 5 days. That's okay. Like, there's a reason, because they're not underestimating the power that is James Cameron. Because James Cameron, he's a visionary director. You may like him, you may hate him. But you got to give the man credit. He knows how to visually make a movie. And
that's
he's been
very
doing
true.
it for years.
All right. Well, I think that's everything that we wanted to cover as far as your review goes and stuff, right? I mean, is there anything else that you want to mention?
Just one final point. I think Doctor Strange, I could definitely see it at least getting over 700,000, like 700 million. I could see that maybe next weekend, or maybe if not this weekend, next, because it's making like so much money overseas. Like it's that. I definitely think it's gonna have legs for a while because nothing's coming out, and even over Memorial Day, yeah, a lot of people are gonna see Top Gun. I think this one's still gonna hold off for a little while, at least until June. I think June that's when Jurassic World comes out, the New Dominion, and I think that one's gonna like that. So it's gonna be an interesting battle of that. But the thing with Doctor Strange is it's short. It's a quick 2 hours and 6 minutes. So that's what you.
I'll be honest with you. Despite the fact I didn't enjoy this film as much as I wanted to, I didn't feel the runtime. The runtime was very quick. You're in and then you're out. So I really do appreciate that.
And I think
part.
that's the big benefit for it too. It's a 2 hour and a 6 minute movie, and because the original one was only an hour and 50, it was like an hour and 40 something. And then I think it was an hour and 46 and 10 minutes of the credits. But this one is 2 hours and 6. It didn't feel like it felt really quick. And I think that's the benefit for it. It being the benefit for short movies, you can get it in more screens. And I think that's and I think also too is they raised the price too on these tickets. And I think they're doing it for all blockbusters now. And I think Top Gun's is going to get its price raised. I don't know how much, but
I think that's stupid.
I do too. I mean, they did it for the Batman. They did it because it was I think AMC did it for the Batman. I don't think anybody else did. But yeah, I think it's stupid, but I mean it's smart yet stupid at the same time, and it's like I may not like it, but it's still got my money. Like again, I mean I think but yeah, I mean I like this movie a lot. I had a lot of fun with it, albeit as a horror movie. You're not gonna get that from me often. That I say a horror movie was good. Like you're not getting that from me often because I don't do horror movies. Don't expect me. I'm not seeing Halloween Ends. Like don't at me. Saying need to see Halloween Ends. No, thank you. I don't need to see us like that. But for the MCU to have its first horror movie, which I had I was a little hesitant on. Like it did what it needed to do. It was entertaining. It was like definitely one of my favorite movies of the year.
All right. So with that being said, guys, that's going to be it for our review. I hope that everybody enjoys it. Of course, going ahead tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Central Time, 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific Time. Alex and Rossie and myself are going to be reviewing the Godfather, the very first Godfather film. So go ahead and check that out tomorrow night on our YouTube channel. And that's everything that you need to know about us. So always until next time, it's been real. It's been fun. Can't wait to do this again. And bye-bye.